Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mike Nierychlo Online. So, back for another week. You can see I'm back by myself in the garage. Hope you had a great Easter weekend, had a great time, good fun with friends and family. I know I did. I road tripped up to Prince George, my wife and I. The reason I bring that up, on the way back, quick little shout out I want to throw out. On the way back, cruising through 100 Mile House, and I mean, if you're from BC and you know BC, you've heard of 100 Mile House. It's a fairly little town, about halfway between Vancouver and Prince George. On the way back, my relatives suggested we stop in. There's this great little restaurant slash coffee bar slash whatever you want to call it, just hanging out place called the Chartreuse Mousse. I just thought it was a great, fun little spot. The service was really nice. The food was excellent. I just had a great time stopping by there. It was a very well-presented place. So I just wanted to give them a quick shout-out in this video. So you can follow them on Twitter. I'll have these links just below the video. You can follow them on Twitter at Chartreuse Mousse. And yeah, and their website will be below. I think it's just chartreusemousse.ca. So yeah, check them out. If you ever happen to be in 100 Mile House, make sure you stop in there and say hi from Mike. Okay. You know how I'm always saying you gotta try new things, look for new things. Well, here's a different wine. You probably haven't heard of it. If you had, you're either Austrian or you're from Canada. The grape variety is called Zweigelt, or Zweigelt. I'll let you see the bottle here. This is the arrow leaf, just so you can see the word, Zweigelt. Zweigelt is it's an Austrian grape. It's a crossbreed between Blaufränkisch and Saint Laurent, two different grape varieties. They've crossbred together, made a hybrid with. It's also a little bit hardier, cool climate grape variety, but it displays fairly well here in BC. It's one of the most grown grape varieties in Austria right now as far as reds go. And yeah, it tends to be a fairly berry-esque, fruit-forward wine. I mean, one thing Arrowleaf says on the back of theirs, if variety is the spice of life, then Zweigelt is the grape of choice. A little bit from Arrowleaf. So what, two, again, BC Okanagan wines. Let's see what they have to offer. This is the 2007 Arrowleaf Zweigelt. Arrowleaf, again, Okanagan, BC. Yeah, they're a big producer out here. They produce a lot of wines. So let's see what their Zweigelt says. Again, 2007. Another thing with Zweigelt, it's got a color similar to Cabernet. Kind of a deep black inky purple. There you go. There's a few producers doing it here in BC. There's, I mean, not everybody, not a whole lot of them, but again, it being a little bit cooler climate, hardier grape variety, it does fairly well, like I said. Okay, so on the nose on this one. And again, you'll notice they're both screw crap. Zweigelt isn't necessarily built as a wine. It's more of a fruit-forward wine. Probably a little bit easier drinking wine too. It's not built for huge amounts of age. It's a good drink now, party, have a good time, barbecue wine, whatever. Nose is fairly restricted on this one actually, but there is a fair amount of berry coming through. Definitely a little bit of black currant. I'd almost venture to say some blackberry. Maybe a hint of blueberry. I get a little bit of spice too, just a hint of kind of that oaky spice. And maybe a bit of licorice. But again, I'm kind of reaching for these because the nose is a bit tight on this wine. Okay, on the palate. Now here's something, a signature Zweigelt. And a lot of winemakers will attest to this because they know it's true. Zweigelt is always lacking in the mid palate. I don't know if I've found one yet that really is complete front to back. It's always just, it's like it hits the front of your tongue. Some nice sweetness, you get some of that nice, like even now I'm getting some nice blackberry on the front of my tongue, some blueberry. But then it's like it goes, front of my tongue's here and then it just goes hop, right over the mid palate. It just kind of goes blah through the mid palate and then it hits the rear end. It's got some nice spice, almost like a slight, just kind of that oaky spice, that vanilla-y nutmeggy kind of, yeah, just kind of that oak spice on the rear end. Can kind of taste the alcohol in this one, but not over the top. It's quite a soft wine, quite smooth. It's a nice, let's just call this, it's a nice, easy drinker. Again, like I said, this would be a great, just open for a barbecue wine. So if you're looking for a wine, especially for a red, for people who aren't huge wine drinkers, try some Zweigelt. It's a very simple, easy drinking wine. I wouldn't say sweet, but definitely slightly sweet. Nice big berry flavors, a hint of spice on this one. 07 Zweigelt Marrow Leaf, not bad. I'm going to say it's a decent wine. I think this was $18. Decent value, decent wine all around. I mean, nothing amazing, nothing really age-worthy. But again, if someone offered me this as a barbecue, I would love to have it. This would go great with burgers, potato salad, whatever. It's not a bad wine. I think it's very complete. It's soft, it's smooth, not very tannic. Just a nice, simple drinker. Just another sip here. Yeah, smooth, not a bad wine. I really don't mind it. It's just a really good, easy drinker, like I said. Anyway, on to the next one. The 2006 Stonehill Zweigelt. Now, Stonehill, they're Penticton, but they're on the Naramata bench in the Okanagan as well. Yeah, see what they have to offer. Now, here's one thing. Arrowleaf, I don't mind their packaging. I mean, their label's okay. Stonehill, if you happen to watch this video, it's just my opinion, but your label is really not that great. I'd love to see you come up with a better label, something stands out. As much as winemakers and stuff don't like to think it, packaging sells. I mean, I will know a wine, and I'll know, oh, this wine's amazing, but if the label's bad, for some reason, I will even have a hard time still buying it. It's all about the label. There's a few wines I've had, the labels are atrocious, they're terrible, but the wines are amazing. I'm not sure about this one yet, we'll see what it has to say. Alright, a glass of rinse there. Okay, as far as color goes, this is totally different than the other one, and Zweigelt, it's a little bit off character for Zweigelt. They've probably left a little bit less skin contact or something. This is just a clean ruby red. Hopefully you can see that there, clean ruby red. And it's fairly, I mean, I can see my hand right through the glass. It's almost like a Pinot, or it is very much. Actually, you know what? I wish more Okanagan Pinot Noir had a lighter color like this. I find Pinot Noir in the Okanagan sometimes has too deep a color. So I'm intrigued by the color on this one. All right. Whoa. Okay. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm searching for fruit. I get a bit of plum coming through on this one, but the thing that, why I said whoa, leaps out at me into my nose, just kind of smacks me in the face, is like rubber hose. I'm smelling rubber hose or gumboots. Yeah, like I said, a bit of plum. I'm getting some raspberry on this one, but that rubber hose, that rubberiness is really coming through. It's kind of like funky, like, yeah. It's rubber hose and almost like poopy. Yeah, it's kind of poopy. That's an interesting, but I find this nose very intriguing. You have to find this one just to smell it, just to learn something from it. See how it tastes. Okay, well, this drink's basically like the color. Again, Zweigelt, it just leaps over my mid-palate. The flavor profiles don't quite match the aroma, fortunately. I don't want to be tasting poop, necessarily. Nice, easy drinker. Definitely a nice oak spice on the rear end. Just kind of, almost that white pepper, almost the white pepper spice the Syrah puts through. Say that about the Arrowleaf Zweigelt. Oh, sorry, I totally forgot. Like I said, Arrowleaf Zweigelt, decent wine, I like it. Great, just sipper. I'm going to give it, let's say, 85.5 points. Seek it out. It's definitely a great, just introductory good red wine for someone to try out. This one, This one's almost slightly watery. I am getting a bit of, yeah, definitely that white pepper in the rear end. White pepper, almost like green olive juice. It's a rounded plum. Maybe a bit of a hint of like tart raspberry or something like this, but it's not expressing a whole lot of fruit to me. It's a little bit boring. A little bit like the label. A little bit boring, which is too bad. Now you see what I'm doing? I'm searching for something in this wine, something to grab hold of me and make me be, this is a good wine. But it's not. It's just a bit boring. Sorry, Stonehill. It's a decent wine. There's nothing foul or bad about it. I'll put it that way. But it just doesn't have a whole lot of character, a whole lot of depth or layers or flavor to it. You can taste the alcohol in a bit. This wine's, I don't know. I'll say it's whatever. It's a good word for it. That's what you're going to see in my review. It's whatever. Not great. Whatever. I'm going to have to score this one, I don't know, for interest's sake and for learning a little bit. And it's got that poopy nose. It's actually kind of blown off, but it's still got that rubber hose, something going on there. Again, the nose is a little bit blah too. I'm going to go ahead and give this one like, see, I said 85.5 for that. I like that wine. Again, I like that wine. For quality, I think it deserves about an 85.5. Again, neither of them have anything bad with them. I think I'll go ahead and give this one, I don't know, 84 points. It's still an okay wine. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing foul. The alcohol is not too hot. It's not biting. It doesn't have any off tastes. But it's not great. That's all. A bit too light for Zweigelt. That's all I have to say about it. So anyway, Zweigelt. Seek it out. Austrian grape. Again, great wine for just somebody who's not a huge wine drinker. Great for barbecues. And yeah, keep trying new things. Look for new wines. If there's a variety that you want me to cover that you've tried that I haven't done on the show yet, leave it in my comments below and say, hey, you've got to try this variety. It's so weird. I mean, Italy, just like the last episode you saw with the white that I did. Strange variety. Italy has thousands of different weird varieties. But if you have a variety that you want me to try on the show, let me know. I'd love to try it out. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. That is it for today's episode. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming out.